Cloaken, Ciderhelm, and Zekent, which is like a rarity. It basically just luck. It was lucky. Cloaken came on, started talking around 3:24, and basically around 3:50 something said like, yeah, we'll do a hangout, and we basically got to talk and ask questions about certain stuff and got a little bit more of an insight of what's going on. So it's not exactly me playing, but I can give some of the recap of some of the stuff that I heard. And if people drop on and who are also there remember some other stuff, it would be kind of cool if they could help provide some of the things that I might have missed or I didn't hear, because I didn't get onto it like right away. I got onto it maybe 10 minutes in, and there's a section where Ciderhelm was talking. I was pulled away from the computer, so I didn't really get to hear everything that he was saying. So the way it basically works out, some of the primal changes were kind of explained also. So I actually just did a stream right before that call, probably on Wednesday, and I was like, yeah, the primal changes, unless they're looking to make Sunder like just something that can kill one or two people and that's it doesn't make sense. But kind of that's what they're looking for. They're trying to reduce the amount of time people spend in primal, but it's not like the final way it's gonna be. This is just some of the stuff that they're trying out, and there's gonna be some hot patches and some fixes that are going to be tweaking some of the durations. Like Jainx duration most likely is gonna get shortened because it's ridiculously long. Probably they're gonna give a few seconds back to Sunder, maybe get him up to 12. They might give Issia maybe up to 13 or 14. Just like it's not gonna be a huge amount, but they're definitely looking at it and trying to see what they can do. But if, let's say, you kept the durations just the way they were, then the fix that is actually needed is how fast the abilities actually their cooldowns basically expire, or how fast they recover. Because the big issue right now is in a 10-second duration for Sunder, if you're not being hit at all and your Sunder is basically able to survive the 10-second duration on his own, not taking so much damage that his health is just bleeding away, you can't get more than 2 leap attacks in that duration. That's just ridiculous. That's why it doesn't feel good, because the problem about leap attack and why I never even liked playing it is I miss leap attack a lot. And leap attack is something that you gotta aim, and sometimes you aim and you should crush the person in nothing, and then other times you're watching somebody jump on you, you're like at the outer edge of it and they give it to them, and other times they don't. Like it's already an imprecise attack, and then to only have 2 chances to use it, what's the point of primaling? It's literally the idea of, just to bring it back to Vainglory, the idea of what they're trying to do with Sunder is make Sunder like more like an ultimate. Like if you were using Rona, and then you would do her rotating attack for her ultimate, it's something like that. That's what it's becoming more like. It's supposed to be more, the way Zekent described it is, yeah, you transform into Sunder, people are in front of you, you knock out 1 or 2 guys, and then you go back to Primal. It's a way you can play it, not the most enjoyable way to play a Primal. But the key problem with Sunder is, if he's your initial Primal, and he has a super short duration, and he has a really high skill-based attack, like leap attack, that does not have really great ability to auto aim and kill things for you, it's not the best way to play it. Like I had these duplicate issues that were happening with my inventory because of server migrations that are happening, and I got put on Sunder with freaking leap attack. It was one of the most infuriating, games I've ever played in my life. you transform into Sunder. Besides your swiping, and if people are moving around or bots are moving around and you can't hit them, super frustration. Then you go, okay, I'm gonna leap attack, and everything dodges. The leap attack lands in front or behind, but it never lands on. And you're just like, what the hell is this? It's completely unfun to play. Like, in this version, if you do not have Primal Roar Sunder with Hunter, you can't play Sunder. It just doesn't even make sense. It's completely unfun. Everybody who has leap attack that attacks me as Sunder, unless like they got really close to me, if I'm playing like the builds that I like to run that are like long range builds, you're never hitting me. You're just not. The only Sunder that gets a chance to kill me, Primal Roar Sunder. Why? Because he has speed. That's his big bonus. The only other, and if you're using Hunter with it, that's also more speed all the time. So you literally can gap close and kill people. Primal Roar Sunder also seems to last longer because I can use Primal Roar 2 to 3, maybe 3 or 4 times if I'm not getting hit really hard. Then that makes Sunder stronger. It probably 2 to 3 times. It's just that it's such a boost and it does so much damage. You can kill 5 or 6 people and then you turn back. Where if you're playing Leap Slam Sunder, you get 2 or 3 people, that's a damn near miracle. That's not how it's supposed to be. It's the same problem, like you cannot play Wing Sweep Issia. Basically the patch before, when the duration of Issia was like 18 seconds, they had a cooldown on the Wing Sweep that was so fast that if you Wing Sweep twice, by the time somebody gets near you again, you would already have a Wing Sweep in pocket to knock them back again. So what they did here is they literally shortened your duration and then increase the time it takes for a Wing Sweep to come back. If you're not playing Lumia Issia, which has a quicker ability to like launch attacks, you will not get more than 2 Wing Sweeps in the duration of Issia. You can't get more than 2. That's it. Just 2. Where in the patch before, you're dropping 8 to 10 Wing Sweeps. If you at least bring it down by 6 seconds and you kept that duration, that would get you somewhere between 4 to 5 Wing Sweeps, then it doesn't feel like it's a total waste of time. Like, I cannot even play it. Like, if you do play it to try to level it up, I don't play it and use it. I use Seeking Storm in the basic attack only. The Wing Sweep is so inconsistent that if you miss, you're screwed. If you use both of them by accident, you're really screwed. Like, it does nothing. I don't know. 8 fights in a row. Wing Sweep, you knock the guy back. It's coming again. Wing Sweep. You're moving, you're hitting him. You're like, I'm gonna get that one more Wing Sweep just to knock him away so I can run away. It never happens. You transform back every time you're about to hit the 3rd Wing Sweep. It just doesn't work. That doesn't make any sense. So you can't have high cooldowns and low durations. It doesn't work. Like, if you want to keep them really low, these durations, you're gonna have to decrease those cooldowns so people can actually use the abilities more in the short time period that they have. If you do that, if in 10 seconds you can do 4 leap slams, Sunder doesn't feel like trash. Because that means it's fast enough that, man, I missed one, let me try again. Damn, I missed another one, let me try again. Hey, you may miss all 4, but at least you got 4 tries versus 2. That's just the difference. That's if they really want to keep these low durations, they have to increase the amount of times you can use your special ability. The cooldowns have to be really low, so the special abilities can come out back to back really fast. Like Issia should definitely be able to do 2 deep freezes comfortably in whatever duration you give her. To get 3, that's just a miracle. But if you can get 2 at least comfortably every time, then she's not totally wasted. That's the issue. And the thing is, with such low health bars, and you're losing energy, bleeding it off so quickly if you're being attacked, that's why those cooldowns have to be low, so you can actually use the abilities before you go. That's the fix. If you don't want to increase the cooldowns, I mean, if you don't want to increase the durations, then you got to decrease the cooldowns for the attack so people can actually use them. Then it doesn't feel horrible. But like right now, I don't understand how Primal Roar is not your basic Sunder ability. How the hell is Leap Slam your basic Sunder ability where you can barely use it? But that's one of the things. But they were talking about there's a hot patch coming that's gonna fix that, and they're looking at more than one. Like, this is just one idea that they have. There's other ideas they have with slightly different variations, less health or stuff like that, just to mix them up a little bit. But like right now, the ideas of the way Issia is used, the only Issia that works this way for me is Polar Vortex Seeking Storm Issia. I use her as a siege engine. She comes into an area. If there's a bunch of opposing players there, I just use her to clear it all out. I'm not going to be able to take stuff. I might be able to kill things and clear them out, but I am not going to be able to hold Issia to hold a position. She's there to just decimate things quickly and back to normal. That's what she's used for. That's how I play her right now. She's used to clear things out. Whether it's human or primals, just clear them out, and then hopefully my teammates might have a primal or something to come in. Torden is very similar to before because he has such a long cooldown, long duration, like normal. So Torden is literally designed as a holding primal. He's supposed to do crazy damage if people get close, and he's supposed to be able to have high health and stay in position longer than any other primal. That's his thing. Nock is still the same. She's basically human killer. The idea is Nock is one of the very few primals that it is to your benefit to manually aim all of her attacks. And it's easier to play Nock on touchscreen than it is to play on a controller. Because on controllers, I'll have some transformations of Nock where I have perfect timing, synergy, and I'm killing everything I want just the way I see it. And when I set my attacks and I do everything. The problem with Nock is if you make a mistake or you're having a bad, transformation, it's like a waste. You hurt nothing. You don't kill anything. And if it's something like it's a critical time, you need to jump into somewhere, clear things out to take an area, not the primal for that. That's a very dangerous thing because for me, she works well like 40% of the time. 60% of the time, it didn't feel like it was a worthwhile transformation. It felt like I wasted the primal because I didn't need to get kills, I didn't get objectives, I didn't get anything. That's why like Poof is super hard for me to use because Poof has this gigantic looking area attack that is supposed to be able to hit, but I will sometimes poof in between 4 people in the center of them, thinking that I'm going to at least damage everyone there, and no one takes damage. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, for poof to work, you have to literally land on top of the person you want to hit. That poof works. Or if you're poofing away, you want to be next to somebody and then hit poof, you'll damage them when you teleport away, you damage people when you come back. But the radius of the damage, even though the poof looks gigantic, it's tiny. Yeah, the only thing I'm just saying is it's right before they made this change though, right? Right before they made this change, every ability that every primal had was viable. I could play every one of them. I may not like them, but they all worked. Like Wing Sweep worked. Whether I wanted to play it or not, it was a very effective ability. In this version, it does not do anything. It's your duration is so short, your cooldown for Wing Sweep is so high, you literally can only do 2 Wing Sweeps. Coming from doing 8 to 10 to down to 2. That's crazy. Like, what's the point of the ability? I literally will transform and not use it. It's just the fact that when you need it, it barely is there, and it's if you not in position and you miss, it's like completely not useful. Before, if I missed, I'm gonna get another 6 or 7 wing sweeps. Who cares? Now you miss. Holy crap! I just wasted that thing. And then if you go next time a primal's coming, you knock him back. You'll never be able to get a wing sweep fast enough to take him to keep him away from you again. So, that's the brokenness in it. Like I said, it's a choice. If you want to make duration short, you sure as hell can't have super long cooldowns for abilities. Abilities should be able to be used a good amount of times before the duration ends. They should literally be proportional to when they were really long versus to now that they're really short. If I was able to drop 8 when I used to have a 6-second duration longer, I should basically at least be able to drop 5 or 4, not 2. Yeah, man, I will never play Leaf Slam Sunder on purpose. The only way that can happen is the game restarts or something and then shifts me onto Sunder, and I go in the game thinking I had my Primal. That's the only way I'll play Leap Slam Sunder, not on purpose. Like, right now, you couldn't pay me to play it. That's how bad it is. It's like, it's horrible. Maybe if you gave me bits, yeah, I'll play it, but no, not for real. Like, it's not fun. It's like the worst. It's the same problem, like I said. 2 attacks on Wing Sweep Issia, what's the point? But Polar Vortex? Holy crap. I'm dropping 6 or 7 Polar Vortex before my duration ends. I'm zoning things out. I'm doubling it up. I'm doing damage. Seeking Storm, Polar Vortexing the hell out of everybody. I mean, I can only use her to take something or clear something out, but she's not there to hold that position also. So I like the way Issia feels, even though I hate the duration. But the reason the duration sucks is almost none of the other abilities, Deep Freeze or Wing Sweep, work. I can't play them effectively with that super short duration. So they gotta fix those cooldowns. Those cooldowns got to be, if you're shortening that duration, the cooldowns have to be proportional to the duration that you have. If you're not doing that, then that's why they all feel garbagey. That's why they all feel horrible. So I got to say that in the stuff, like I said, yeah, like it's terrible. I don't understand how you can say that that's the first primal you're gonna get, and its skill cap is like super high. Because if you miss a Sleep Slam, you're screwed. That's a problem. Where when I used to play Sunder, even if I missed those Leaf Slams, I didn't feel like I totally was in the weeds because I had time. I had time to recover. When I have 0 time to recover and then I have 1 more Leaf Slam and that Leaf Slam doesn't hit either, holy crap, you don't know how horrible it felt playing that Primal. You felt like you just wasted 10 seconds that I could have been human and killing stuff. Booty's okay. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, here's the funny thing. Roar Hunter, Raw Hunter, what do you call it, Sunder, was like the superior Sunder. Especially when you get that thing to level 20 on both things. He's so fast and he does so much damage. It's just like, it's just better. And then when they gave you damage reduction, holy crap, you're just like, why won't I play this? So the thing was, there were people who were really good at leaf slamming. I should know, because there were people who come onto me and just leap slam, mess up my whole game. They would hunt me down just to slam me really hard. They were good at it. I'm not. That's why I hate leap slam. I miss more than I hit. But there were people, man, I think you were one of them, when they played Sunder, that leap slam hurt. It doesn't anymore. It just doesn't. So I'm not as worried as a person who plays leaf slam Sunder versus a raw Sunder. Raw Sunders are more dangerous because they do so much damage and they're so quick. So that 10 seconds feels like 10 seconds of pure primal rage, where the other one, that 10 seconds feels like you're bumbling and fumbling, and any miss makes you feel like you wasted your time. So yeah, it's like I said, I hope 2 or 3 seconds would be great, because right now it's just horrible. Jainx's duration is so high. Jainx became the Sunder of the patch. Like strange enough, if you play Savage Charge with Dread, holy crap. I used to think Dread was trash until I started killing people that I didn't hit, and they were just near me, and then you'd see the green fire of Dread on them, and then they pop and die, and then I'd heal from that. Like, that's really nice. And Dread is doing damage per second. So if it's at 540 like mine is, or 530 something, every second I'm doing that damage to somebody if they're within my radius. It's pretty nasty. And I've gotten really good at aiming Savage Charges to clear things out or push people away, time Sunder jumps, time hammer smacks. So it becomes Jainx. Yeah, Jainx feels like the way Sunder used to feel. Like he can run around the map. He even has enough time to Savage Charge 3 or 4 times to get to another location and do 1 or 2 hits before he transforms back. So I can take something out. If I have good health, I can literally run across the map and go hit something at least once or twice with Jainx before I become human again. That's a 20-second duration. That's how long that's what 20 seconds feels like versus 10. But yeah, so that was one thing. Other stuff that was when Ciderhelm came on, which was really cool. Because I've always tried to, like, he usually doesn't answer, like, if you tag him or ask him questions. Like, that's Zekent and Cloakin are really good about that. Sean Leggard is really good about that too. Those guys, they'll hit you up and answer back. Tao sometimes, Menges, she does too. And I believe if you get Liqueur, which I haven't seen him in a while, he usually answers back too if you ask him a direct question. So that's nice. But Cloakin is like the guy we all just him and Zekent are the guy like we just talk to the most, because they answer the most. So that's just it. But from what Zekent was saying too is like the match durations. I made a comment about, like, I like most of the match durations. The one that seems really off, and he even mentioned it before I did, he's like, CTF, a lot of people are saying it's short. I think either 4 to 5 points in CTF and then just cap the game to a 10 to 12 minute game. It does the exact same thing. I just think 4 feels more like a game, and 5 feels like a normal game. But 4 would still be a bit faster, but it still feel more meaningful than 3. 3 just doesn't. The game seems like it literally feels like a tutorial. It doesn't feel like you're playing a full game. The stuff they were also talking about that was really nice. They are working on the PVE modes. They are working on they call it arena, but I think it should be called sky rings, because it's like rings where you fight each other. Also, the whole setup looks like a bunch of floating rings in the sky. So sky rings should really be the name of that stuff. And if they do call it that, I'll be really happy, and I'm definitely taking credit. Um, but sky rings, the idea of that too is they're working on that. Hopefully 13, maybe 14. But if it comes out in 13, that'd be freaking awesome. But they're definitely looking at dropping some hot patches between now and then to address some of the primal changes and some of the other stuff that people have been talking about. The thing they were also talking about is people were also giving ideas. Foxglove gave a really cool idea of what if they made Primalists do more than just quick cooldown? What if Primalist also was extra duration? Like, because he goes, if I want to play Primalist specifically, it would be kind of cool if Primalist gave me bonuses for stuff like staying in Primal longer. Because the whole idea of Primalist is to get Primals all the time. So I get benefits of longer Primal durations by like 10%. Stuff like that. Then it would differentiate the banner a little bit and would make the banner actually have that much more strength. And I was like, yeah, that's a cool idea. Because I used to be a Primalist mainer until I found out Seeker was faster. Seeker is literally the fastest. If you ever want to play... Yeah, I was going to say... Also, I got to give Foxglove credit. He has the fanboy mentality that, like, the love that he shows those guys is like kind of the love I have for them. It's just that I'm a bit older right now. I don't gush, and it's something about me. I've met famous people, and I'm like, oh, cool, this guy's all right. To me, that's as deep, as excited as I get if I meet somebody famous or somebody I know I watch on TV. That's about as high as I get. But it's kind of cool to me to see like somebody who's like, these are like people like that are like your idols or people that you really were excited to meet and to get to talk to them. I found that energy really cool too, because somebody was like, oh, it was too much. I'm like, nah, it's not. It's everybody is different, but like these are people that like he's really like he like they're like idols to him, like people like he really likes, and you get to talk to them and interact and drop ideas. Why wouldn't you be like bubbly and happy? Some people, that's what they express, and people shouldn't be like, oh, that's too much. No, it's not. That's just right, because that's how he feels. And the funny thing is, I get it. Like I get the excitement of it, and I really appreciated it. I didn't think it was too much. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think any of that. I thought it was actually kind of cool. And you to get to speak to people that you've been following or you've been watching videos on, and you get to interact with them and drop your ideas. I don't know what could be better than that. That's the one thing, like I say, like I like about SEMC and stuff like that. In the Discord, and even sometimes on these streams, Cloaking will drop on. Ed the Shred will drop on. Zekent has dropped on. Like, and the guys will sit there and they'll answer questions and they'll explain stuff to you while you're streaming, which is really freaking cool. So I'm telling you, it's really nice. I remember watching those streams when they would when they would be when they would be loading up the next update, and yeah, man, that's the thing. Like that's why I used to love watching Nimitz, Shinkaigen, Zekent when they'd be playing and they'd be showing you new skins. I remember the one where, okay, everyone you lose, you got to do push-ups. They were playing blitz matches, and I think like Zekent lost one. My man did like 10 push-ups, and then I think like Nimitz lost it and he didn't do them. Shinkaigen did them also, but it was cool. I mean, that was actually really neat. I used to be working and I would have that stream while I was coding or building websites. I would have that stream running. So that was like one of my favorite stuff. I even like that stream when they had one of the designers was showing how she was making how she did the abilities and stuff for Ilva. Not Ilva. Damn, what's her name again? It's the foreign lady. I can't believe I can't remember some of these characters, man. Because these are some of the newer ones. But her and Ilva are connected. Her, Yates and Ilva are connected. And I can't remember her name. But yeah, it's really cool. It's nice when you can interact with it. It's a small company, but yeah, they're cool people. Other cool stuff that happened is like cloaking. A lot of people who are beta testing really don't understand. Like they actually read damn near all the feedback, and they listen to all the feedback. Streams, like when I stream or I post videos, they actually watch them. Like when my videos are off, they have like 40-50 views while I'm not streaming. And a lot of the times the NCMC guys will actually stop by and look at it and listen to some of the comments and stuff that you mentioned. And that's why sometimes I will take some of the comments, some of the stuff I talk about here, and then I put them in feedback. And it's just literally just to give the idea in more than one form. But yeah, it's really nice. But Ciderhelm, when he came on, he talked about Dzerren or QQ. She basically dropped the question of like, what are they doing with the social side, and what are they doing with what do you call it, with guilds and things like that. And it was really interesting to hear like what Ciderhelm is really looking at is like, yeah, guild wars is something like when they were doing the game, that's something like they were really Inara, thank you. They were really wanted to basically do. It's just, and even Cloaking kind of explain it. They know parties are really important, and they know that people really want to play with their friends and stuff. And the idea is, I still don't think people realize it. On August 15th or August 18th, one of the 2 days, on August 15th, when the beta went live in Secret Service, friends were part of it. It used to work. It used to be in there. But you know what happened? The game was crashing. They literally spent, it started at, on my side, it was like 8 a.m. plus like 11 a.m. on the East Coast, or 12 a.m. on the East Coast. And the game kept crashing and crashing and crashing. And they were in Discord. They're like, whoa, we didn't expect this to happen, stuff like that. What they literally found out is the friends code was breaking the game. So they removed it. They went to a build without it. That's how you've been playing Catalyst Black for a year with no parties in it. Because it was game breaking. It was a game breaking bug. I remember, I was there that day. And it wasn't working. Because we were like, yeah, I'm trying to party and nothing's happening. Or the game's not moving, whatever. And literally Ed the Shred was on too. And that was the whole idea why it's been removed. They've been trying to implement it. Because what's funny was, internally, it was working perfectly. When you added 300 people onto the server to try to make it work at one time, it didn't work. Basically broke the game. That's the issue. But what Cloaking was saying too, which was kind of nice, he was definitely saying that, yeah, they really, really appreciate the people who still play and the people who give feedback, because they go, what a lot of folks don't get is they have so much more that they know and can see, and we're playing basically on faith that we're going to get more, but we're playing a version of the game that doesn't have everything that they have, and we don't know everything that they're doing. We don't know everything that's coming. But yet there are a lot of us who play day in and day out giving feedback and trying to tell them like this is not working and stuff like that. So while people get frustrated and people are like, oh, the game is dying, whatever, bro, it's a beta. It's not what you think. It's not a game that's actually out. Like Hexecutor explained that what you guys don't understand is SEMC is actually pretty fast with bug fixes. Most bug fixes don't happen for like games that are out, especially like with companies like Game Loft. Those bug fixes don't happen for 6 to 12 months. So sometimes there are bugs that linger for 6 months to a year before they release a patch to fix it. We're getting patch fixes, sometimes hot patches, and sometimes you're getting patches within a month or two, an update within a month or two that fixes an issue. Like, anyone has had the arena bug recently? When people are saying like my screen is blue and stuff like that, that's not everybody. That's specific devices that are having issues. That's literally an optimization issue. People who are saying that I'm having frame drops, like they can perceive it and it affects the game. Frame drops are problematic with lag. Frame drops with no lag? Like, I can't play Catalyst Black looking at my screen because there's frame drops when I'm trying to basically stream it from the internet onto my computer, or I'm streaming it from Wi-Fi onto my computer, and the game is delayed. Sometimes it's so delayed, like it hurts your eyes to try to watch the game because the input is about 2 to 3 seconds slower than what's actually happening on the physical iPad, which is why you see me looking sideways half the time while I'm actually streaming, because the game is buttery smooth on my iPad. It ain't so smooth watching it stream from my iPad to my PC and then streaming again. It's herky-jerky. That's the problem. Sometimes it doesn't look, sometimes y'all don't even notice it, but me, I can't look at the screen and play. I have to look downwards and play. So it's just that. But yeah, but like they said, they really appreciate the time, and they go, it's really hard a lot of people don't understand, like, they get how hard it is to play the game in the state it may be, the errors it may have, and not seeing new stuff, not knowing what's coming, but yet you're still giving feedback and you're still trying to play it. They go, your job is really hard, and we really appreciate it. And people are thought like, look at him just trying to butter us up. And he's like, nah, I'm serious. It's really a really big help for them, and it's really important. And the problem with a lot of folks is, yeah, man, I get it sucked that you lost a lot of your mods, but it sucked the same way when I had to sit down 30 minutes at a time removing mods from my screen during the stream or off stream. It wasn't fun either. I chose to use that time and eat up that time getting rid of mods. What you got now is, unfortunately, you got to use your time now to get mods back. But seriously, if you're not like a spendthrift and you're keeping your dust reserves high, and you're keeping your
not bad for a shop in the sky.
Your Quint reserves high, and you're keeping your Mark reserves high, it ain't hard to actually get mods in this game. If you have a modless build, or a build that you really want to have mods in, just play 1 or 2 bot matches with the stuff that you want to get mods for, and then start pulling from the chest. You'll get mods. After 3 to 4 pulls, you usually get a mod for one of the things you were playing. It's really that simple. Everything I have has a mod. Everything. So that's literally the pattern. Like, once I get the Lumia Arrival, if I ever get the Lumia Arrival, the plan is to try to basically play it and start pulling chests the same way right now Star Chest, to try to get mods for it. Not items, just mods. I just want mods. And then I also have these shards, and there's a bunch of freaking stuff that I have. I'm gonna just keep sharding things that I don't ever plan on playing. Sometimes some legendary mods that are just so stupid that they don't even make sense to have. I'm gonna just shard the hell out of these things, and then gonna get epic mods that way too. One way or the other, that thing is getting a mod, and it's getting it pretty fast. I am not waiting 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days to get a mod for that. That's just crazy. There's no reason for it. I'm gonna get a mod for it. So it's not hard. It's just when you have a lot of stuff to do, and if you play decent amount, I play in games, and there are games I get epic and rare mods at the end of almost damn near every game I play. I get more epic mods at the end of games than not. Like,
Take your time.
I will. I literally play a bunch of Eventides, and then at the end of the Eventides, I get an epic mod. I've gotten like maybe 4 epic mods in the last like 6 days. So it's mods come fast and furious right now. So it's not as bad as people may think. I know it's tough to have lost a lot of good mods, but yeah, 1,000+ mods, that's just nutty. Like, that's crazy talk. Once they started letting you take 20 mods at a time, that was the time to cash them in. That was the time. Like, I will sit sometimes and just go through the mod list and purposely keep my mod list around. If my mod list has to scroll, it's too long. That's how I get rid of mods. That's why my mods never get crazy. Once that mod list is in scrolling, to me, I have too many mods for it. And that's literally all I do. I just prevent the mods list from scrolling. And if you just do that, like, some mods are going from here eventually. Like, I'm gonna be cleaning some of these out for sure. Damn, I'm gonna legendary that. Yeah, something gotta go here. And Pharaoh Inspiration, it has too many. I'm gonna have to sit down and look at what I want to get rid of. But look at this thing, it got freaking epics up the butt. What's this one? Not too bad either. Oh wow, I can go either way with this. That's not too bad either. But that's what I'm saying. I have choices. Something's going. But that's how I keep it. Like, 1 or 2 of these mods gotta go. Why is nothing equipped here again? What the hell's up with that? Spirit Well. Spirit Well became my favorite ability section to drop on stuff. Spirit Wells are really good. And I have a few legendary Spirit Wells on like 2 or 3 items. Why is this not on? What the hell, bro? Legendary running gun. That is hot. That's why the Borson's like one of my favorite guns to play with. Legendary Mercenary, no. The Spirit Well? Yes. The Spirit Well is really good. So Pharaoh Inspiration for sure. I gotta drop. Why is that? What the hell, bro? Sadism Warbound? It's otherworldly agile. Capacity resourceful. What's the Warbound? That's the one. Spirit Wells all around. Like, recovery? No. Like, just no. Like, no. One of the best. Sadism Sprinter. One of the best mods I have. You put this with a Warborn Amulet, you're healing over 400 every time you fire your heavy weapon. That's really neat. All right, looking at abilities. those greens are gonna go. Alright, and just check trinkets. Alright, so that's nothing. Potency, determination, and Warforge. Warforge, if you're playing Jury Rig, is actually probably better. Warforge is pretty neat if you're playing what do you call those things? If you're playing Vanguard. I've tried. It's just it's hard to place them. Like I've tried to put the potency one, and then transform into primal so I could get the damage buff. I've tried to do healing and primals. That I've tried to. It would work the best with Jainx, if you really think about it. Jainx is the guy for it. Especially if you're using Corral and Spite, you basically stay in the same spot and then just keep your health flowing for 12 extra seconds. Yeah, it works. Like, I know the combos to do with it. It's just I'm not doing them right now. Like, right now, I'm literally trying to get my Savage Charge and my Dread to level 20. And then I'm going to switch back to Corral and Spite and play that. Yeah, Torden would work also. Torden doesn't move around much. It actually, I did it yesterday. I was playing with Busy, and I actually had catalytic heal. We were fighting a Sunder, and it was Primal Roles Sunder. I started attacking him with my flat cannon, and then I healed him and extended his duration just ever so slightly. And then he has a lot of spirit bonds and a lot of different things to keep him in primal longer too. So it would definitely work. But that's why when they mentioned, Ciderhelm mentioned, like, yeah, they're definitely working on the PVE modes. The PVE modes, that'll be everything. Like, when people keep talking about casual, that would be casual Catalyst Black. When people can basically go run into a raid, a dungeon, or a raid area as a team, and you can actually have defined roles. I'll be sniper, you guys will be Vanguard, this guys will be Ranger, these dudes will be support. Yes, it's all different. Like, that'd probably be one of some of the funnest Catalyst Black you can play, because that's when gear doesn't matter. Because we're all working together. So who cares what gear you got? Right? It's like, let's just take out this stuff. Raids and PVE modes are going to be really big in this game. Yeah, I hate the people who do that. That's just not cool. Feel like I just want to punch you all in the face. I'm like, why are you healing the damn Guardian, bro? I'm almost done. Actually, the one that's even worse is when you start healing the Overseer. And make it just last longer. They're like, ah! Healing Overseers are nasty. Like, I'm trying to get these guns out of the way. Like, it's funny. Fun fact. They're going to be nerfing snipers. All these people who keep building the maximum 3K build snipers, that ain't gonna be a thing. Like, Zekent's like, yeah, you know, that's kind of messed up that a sniper can like one-shot somebody. So I'm thinking they're gonna be maybe some damage caps on snipers, like maybe about, like, that's why I don't play my snipers for max damage. I play my snipers for max ammo. I play my snipers so I can basically keep shooting you. So even if I missed you once or twice, the third or fourth shot's gonna get you. I play to hit you multiple times to kill you. Always and forever. It's just the style I prefer. People who like max damage has its benefits. But here's a really easy sniper fix. Instead of 50% at close range, drop it to 30%. You'll see how much of a difference that is. If not 25. it would literally, because like right now, my Lumia Prodigal at close range still does 1,000. Especially when I'm at specific buffs or whatever. Like I'll be hitting the Overseer with armor. And the Overseer has armor. I'm hitting the Overseer for like 16, 17. So that means when I hit other things, I hit them at 2,000 at max range. Especially if I play double sniper. If I play like triple sniper, it gets worse. Like the damage starts getting exponentially higher. So the point turns out to be is you only reward the sniper for hitting things at long range. Everything up close, you just nerf the hell out of the damage. Then you don't have to change anything else. Then basically what happens is gap closing builds will decimate snipers. And what happens is if you start playing games with multiple people with snipers, everybody just has tempo rushes and blinks and gets right next to them, and all of their damage just disappears. It evaporates. Because let's say if objection can do about 3,000 at max range, up close, if I bring it down to a third, it can only do 1,000. And then let's say the Lumia Prodigal can do 2,000 to 3,000 at max range. Again, I just brought it down to like 800, 900. So let's say you hit me once, you hit me twice. I'm only taking 30%, 25% of your damage, and I'm using a shotgun on you? What makes you dead is you're going to be reloading. As you reload, you're basically going to wind up dying. So the key is that would be one way to fix the snipers. Once you basically start giving them less damage when they're up close, that basically makes everything easier. But that's definitely one of the things that's gonna be coming. Like Zekent literally said, yeah, one-shotting people is not really what they're looking for. So the only way you could do that is to modify damage. And definitely, if you give more of a damage reduction instead of 50%, that also will give you a much better feel for playing against snipers. All you have to do is get close. The rule is 4 snipers, you're dead. 4 shotgunners, you're dead. 4 battle gunners, you're dead. Battle rifles, you're dead. 4 assault rifles, you're dead. Like, the builds are not designed to beat multiple people. The only reason team play's not more important is because you just don't have a large player base. Yeah, that would also help too. It's just the key thing is, yeah, a sniper wouldn't be able to play on an island. And playing 3 to 4 snipers doesn't work well too if I have a variety of builds attacking you. Because if we just focus you down with a guy with a battle rifle, our own sniper, and a guy with a shotgun, you're screwed. There's nothing you can do to win. You're not going to be able to fire fast enough to stop all 3 guys. It's really hard to beat 2 people with snipers too. It's hard to beat a shotgunner with good gap closing with a sniper also. Even this build, which fires like auto rifle, it's almost like it looks like a machine gun sniper when I'm at maximum range and I'm at full, what do you call it, ammo. I can just keep firing. All you just see is, and that's just two guns. And then when I drop heal, I can get that gun to give me an extra 2. I can get that gun to actually have like 6 bullets instead of 3. And then heal also gives me, instead of 3 health bar, I actually have like 6. So that's why this build is so strong. It's high sustain, crazy damage, and it's fast. Like the negate siren is literally the fastest sniper in the game, and it has a reactivation delay of 0.7, and it's fast. So it's pretty. Or there's a delay between its shots, I believe. Let me see what the delay is. It ain't short. Yeah, 0.7. So between each shot, I have to wait almost half a second, 0.2 plus 0.2 seconds. So I have to wait almost a second before I can fire again. While the objection has to wait a whole 1.2 seconds. So literally just do close range damage to 30, 25 or 30%. You'll see snipers take the L a lot more. It's because like right now, like I said, up close, I'm tagging people for 1,000 points, especially with the Lumia Prodigal. People are taking 1,000 anyway, so it's not that big of a deal to me. That's why people, oh, I'm gonna gap close on you, pop, 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 pop. You're still dead. I fire 5 shots into you, you're really dead. And the way it seems like I have a much quicker gun is I alternate between the 2 guns. So the Lumia Arrivals has exactly the exact same reactivation delay as the Negate Siren, and they have the exact same range. So as I fire one, the other one's ready to fire, then the other one's ready to fire, then the other one's ready to fire. So they just keep switching shots. So it's an endless stream of bullets for at least 14 shots. And the reason I play Base of Dedication, if I get kills, Negate Siren can keep firing longer, doing way more damage. So that's how it is. But yeah, that's the thing that are down the line where that's why I always tell people, meta-wise, I never want max damage builds. They're not logical. Max ammo builds are more logical. More ammo, the better. Because I can hit you more times and kill you even if I don't do as much damage as you do. If I can do more damage faster and I can put more bullets into you, doesn't matter how much damage you do. Because if you can't kill me outright, your reload ain't gonna help you once I'm close to you. And if I'm using a build that's sustain and that heals, yeah. So that's pretty much like those are the things that I remember. We talked about the modes, we talked about the primals. They were talking about like things like sniper, how to basically make it a little bit more balanced. The other one that was coming up was people were asking like, they were worried about advertising and what is the plan? Is this gonna be like Vainglory? And what they keep telling folks is, yeah, we are working on multiple different ways of advertising this game, and basically certain areas are seeing ads or stuff are being sent out, and those things are being used as ways to track to see how much traction or how much people they get from it. So in Indonesia or maybe in, let's say, Southeast Asia, you'll see ads for Catalyst Black, new battleground shooter, showing you all this stuff that never appears in NA. We've never seen it. We had to go search it in the Catalyst Black Indonesia YouTube channel to see it. But yeah, that's the thing. We don't get to see some of these things, and these things are literally feelers and testers to see how much organic player growth they get from just that one little ad. A lot more is being done analytically and with numbers than I think we're done with CB. The CFO, Chief Financial Officer, is literally a mathematician. And if you guys don't know, mathematicians are the most important or the most ubiquitous or the most easy to focus or fit into any what do you call it, job space. The police can use mathematicians. You remember that show Numbers? It was a mathematician helping police solve crimes. Computer scientists, we can use mathematicians. They help with algorithms, and they can make cleaner algorithms, faster algorithms, even though they're not programmers. And they can basically write a number sequence that can do a test that I can write in like 10 lines of code. And they can write one little algorithm that can, or maybe 100 lines of code, or maybe 40, 50 lines of code. They can do it in one equation that if I write that back out into code, saves me 100 lines of code that I needed to only write one for to do the exact same thing through math. It's like mathematicians. If you ever want to, if you have kids and they ever want to do something and they want to be able to do anything they ever want, math. Music, math. Art, math. Computers, math. Engineering, math. Surgery, being a doctor, doing vaccine stuff, mathematicians also would work well there. They literally, if you study to be a mathematician, you can do anything. Anything. You can work in any space you want. It's crazy, but that's the truth. So he's a numbers guy. He's literally a mathematician. And he basically is sitting down looking like, okay, if you came through Facebook from this ad, how did you play the game? How long did you play the game? What mode did you play the most? How was hour 1 versus hour 8? Were you on for 16 hours the first day, or were you on 4 hours the first day? Yeah, they're running all those numbers. So the thing that when people are like, oh, is it going to be just like VG? No, it's not. No, it's not going to be like VG. One, there ain't going to be an esport right away, if there's ever one. So that's one good thing, because the esports drained money. As cool as they were, as much as I love them, the reason I'm even on Twitch is because of VG esports. It ate money like a pig with a bottomless stomach. That's what it was doing. It was just draining funds. So that's the thing. Not having esports right away ain't a big thing. Not having a big competitive mode right away ain't that big of a thing. What you want is engagement. What you want to see is buying practices. What you want to see is what works. Like a lot of the guys who are worried about the game being paid to win. If you add a solid PVE core to this game, who cares about pay to win? I'm playing with my friends. We're all jumping in, trying to have fun. You give me a party system. We party up 10 guys. Let's go raid that thing. Let's see how fast we can do it. Let's see if we can get some good loot from that one. Oh man, there's an event going on. We need to basically get these points. Who cares who has what gear? Who cares? Like, PvE will eliminate a lot of that issue. So there's a lot of things. Because I remember Hexecutor was like, oh yeah, have you ever played a massive online role-playing game? I forgot I did. I played it for about a year, DC Universe Online. It was pretty fun when I was playing it. And I remember, because there was raids, there was some PvE, and there was a lot of PvE, and then there was some PvP. Like, yeah, if a person decided to spend all their money and create a character, yeah, you can't PvE that guy. You can't. But there was enough, PvP that guy. But player versus player doesn't work very well. But if you were doing raiding stuff and you needed a guy to help you take out this really tough boss or stuff like that, who cares? Like, who cares if you put more money in the game? Hey, that dude helped me out. I was finally able to beat that island that I've tried 7 times and I couldn't. We had a whale inside, and he basically came in and helped us win. Especially if you've done it multiple times and failed. Every once in a while, one of these really deep pocket dudes come in and is and help you beat that boss. It feels great. Chia Pet came on and came up with also an interesting idea, and he goes, maybe there should be tiers in the game, but not like ranks like Vainglory where there was 10 different tiers and everybody split up like that. But maybe he goes like maybe tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, and you kind of separate the players apart, so you're not literally playing all of them together. And Cloakin explained the newbie buff that a lot of people don't get. So the way the newbie buff is supposed to work, all the new people, when they come together in a game, they all have the buff. When they queue up to play the game, all the newbie buff people queue up into the same game and play with each other and enjoy themselves shooting each other, doing more damage or less damage to each other than any other time. But I think, again, because of a small player base and we're playing a beta, and the way the server is always trying to get you into games the fastest, it throws us into games queues with newbies. And those buffs is what you keep colliding against. So, newbie buff, here's what happens when I play it. I hit a newbie buff guy. I'm just like, yeah, only reason you survived was because, yeah, you basically took less damage when you should have died in that point, right? That happens once, twice, maybe 3 times. If it's a potato build, it probably happens 7 or 8 times. If it's not a potato build and it's like this build, it does not happen very often. They'll survive once. After that, they don't usually survive. They just die all the time from then on. That's literally what happens for me. Because that's what happens when you don't play max damage builds and you play builds that basically kill over time. Even if the person has a buff, since I'm not expecting my damage to take him out in 1 or 2 shots, who cares? Who cares if you're buffed? If I catch you with a Lumia Prodigal 4 times, you ain't making it. I don't care what buff you got. Even if you're taking, what do you call it? 30% of the damage. 30% of that and 30% of a negate siren hitting you over and over and over again, you're gonna die badly. And what I do is I use positioning to win. I'm not trying to stay up close to you. I keep moving around, keep healing, and keep shooting you and keep shooting you and keep shooting you until you die. That's how I beat newbie buffs. And I play with guys that are level 13, level 10, and they're like, you're like, wow, this bot's really good. Oh, it's a person. So, because they're tenacious and they play slightly different than the bots play. So, yeah, but that's the explanation behind the buff. The buff was never supposed to be veteran versus new guys. It's supposed to be new guys playing amongst themselves and having some protection against how strong the game is. And they're all strong and have the protections together. It's not meant to play against veterans. So that was that. That was one of the interesting things. Chia's idea for separating it to maybe 4 groups, I think that also kind of makes sense. Like vets are a little bit further away. Guys in the middle. Foxgolves came up with another interesting idea of maybe having a way that people can see like people who are higher level, or it's easier to spot a higher level person than it is to spot a lower level person. Like me, who's running Ascension level 95, you can literally see something that like a golden arrow that points up. It's like, yeah, that guy's really high level. Like maybe you shouldn't go after him. Like the only reason, like to me, come after, don't come after, I don't care. It's not a big deal. Like I said, the only time it gets frustrating is when the game is overpopulated. You're playing a 2v5 and 3-4 people are always just coming after you mercilessly. That's not fun. That's annoying. And the only reason they can do it is because they have an extra 2 players or an extra 3 players while you're struggling by yourself with bots that are milling around in the center, or 8 of your bots are in one area but not taking an outpost. Awesome. Yeah. Another thing I'm just adding besides that, the other thing that was one of the stuff people were talking about, adding the ability to see each other's loadouts. I said, like, one of the cool things about this game is anytime you play, somebody's like, what was your loadout? Most people are like, oh, it's XYZ, whatever. There was always these weirdos in VG. They won the game and then they sell everything off right before the game ended. There's only so many combos you could do, fella. And you know how stupid that is? If I played the replay of the game, I could see your build anyway. It was weird. The mentality in it was so bizarre, it didn't make any sense. What are you hiding? There's a replay at the end that I can actually watch after the game's over. I will see your build. whether you erase it or not. Like, and here's the funny thing. Most of the time, I didn't really care. I just found it really strange that people did that anyway. But no one cares. Like, anybody who asks you, hey, what build do you play? Oh, I was playing this. Sometimes you find a nice combo. You're like, yo, this build is really cool. If you play this and then you put all that on it, it works super well. People are always talking about that stuff. Like, when people are like, what? This game's hard. I can't do whatever. I'm like, what do you have? What gear you got? I can make a build on whatever gear you got that should be decent and give you some survivability. I can build them at any time. Like, I know what they are. I know how to build it so at least you can play some kind of pattern where it's not super easy to blow you up. That's the only reason why, like Zekent is saying too, like, yeah, one-shot snipers, yeah, that's not cool. Like, they don't want that to be a thing. So, yeah, just letting all the max damage snipers know, it ain't gonna be there forever. Enjoy it while you can. That's why I always tell people, it's not what I build for. It's not really what I care about. Max damage? No. It doesn't work out for me. Max damage doesn't win me games. Because there's only so many people you can hit with max damage if 3 people are running at you. Like, the build I have, I fought off 8 people. And I fought off like six people and a primal with the build that I just showed you. This build, it can fight 6 people. Rule is, I need to be at really long range to do it. And I gotta keep moving around and keeping away from people and dodging and healing and holding off and catching people. But I can kill 6 people with that build. Some people, maybe 2 or 3 real people, maybe 5 or 6 bots. But it balances out. Usually it's not even a thing. Not in this game. And it's super hard to do. It's not like when you did it, I was just like, you fools can't touch me. It's so easy. No, it was really hard. It was really, really hard to do. So it's not simple, but it's possible. So that's the thing that's actually kind of cool about it. Let me see, what other thing did I remember? They talked about that. Yeah, Guild Wars is definitely something they're thinking about for real. Ciderhelm definitely said it. And like, everybody loves Ciderhelm's voice. We'd love to hear him in the game. It's just, this is Ciderhelm. Like, it's just the thing, man. Where I'm just so used to the guy explaining on how to do things right. That you just want to hear. So if you're wondering, Ciderhelm is like the main game mode designer. He's like the main map designer. Like, he does the general layout of all the maps. He's the guy who does he's also the guy coming up with most of the modes. So that's what his thing is. If you're wondering with Zekent is like the balanced weapons guy. Any weapon that's basically kind of coming out and the way they're balanced and the way they play, Zekent. That's why we always say, like, yeah, the reason the Lumia Prodigal is so strong is because Zekent loves it. Like, we're always joking whenever something has a really powerful ability or is balanced in a way that seems like, why would it do that? It's so unfair. It's always Zekent. So that's just a rule of thumb. It's always Zekent. So he's like, because I had asked him maybe about a month back, I'm like, are you like are you the main weapon guy and balance guy, or I mean, do you mainly do weapons or do you mainly do balance, or are you both? And he goes, yeah, a little bit. I'm mainly both. So like, he's the guy who's always looking to tweak the stuff, and it's the reason if you ever watched when Cloakin actually interviewed Zekent, which is a really cool one. The way Zekent came into VG, he used to play like I believe Heroes of the Storm. He used to play a lot of games. Like, the Zekent's thing is he would always go into the stats of any weapon or any build or any character that's in a game, and then he was always looking for min-max. And what min-max is, you basically maximize all your benefits and minimize all your weaknesses in every build, or every character that he played. So not only is he kind of really good with mechanics, and he's really good at like executing stuff and playing, he also is very analytical about every ability and everything when you put them together, and how you can make them work, or how you can make them work so well that they feel like they're broken. So that's his thing. So that's why he's like the balance guy. That's why the way his mind is working, that's what he's thinking about. And if you're ever wondering why are some weapons so weak, why are some banners so weak, why are certain things don't work so well, it's because the idea is you're supposed to be playing this game really in a team dynamic, and your team is supposed to cover your weaknesses. It's the same way when I put a build together, my heavy, my trinket, and my ability are all to maximize or to minimize the weakness of my primary. That's literally what I play. I play the heavies. The other 3 items are to complement the primary. There are people who play around mods. I play around my primary weapon. And everything that I build around it is to make that primary play better. And it's to help me also minimize the weaknesses of the primary. So that's my technique of how I build. That's why I have 8 builds. Like, if you ever see me play Flamethrower, Flamethrower is designed to have, like, Flamethrowers work really well with super strong heavies or really high DPS heavies. They don't have to have a lot of range. Like, my best Flamethrower build is with Miser. My second base Flamethrower build is with Triflame. It's because the Flamethrower has this ridiculous range and this weird way it can attack, and it has a delayed damaging capability that almost no other weapon has, maybe besides Primal Fire. But the idea is it allows you to build patterns and damage people in ways that they're not expecting. Like, I literally kill people with flamethrowers. I leave a stream of flamethrowers. I see somebody coming at me, go on a jump pad, land on the other side of the map or teleport, and then you hear 10 plus 10. I killed the person 2 seconds later from a shot a flame that I sent in their direction, judging that they should basically go through it. Delayed kills. The flamethrower can do that all day, every day. Another one is max flame. If you can get up to 10 meters and then you're aiming at something like an Overseer, or you're aiming at something like a freaking Imperial Guardian, do you know how much damage that thing does? It just keeps stacking and stacking and stacking and just damage after damage. It's like super strong. That's literally how you play Flamethrower. Flamethrower is about range and creativity. And basically using all of the benefits of the Flamethrower to your benefit. Like, here's a strange one. Flamethrowers and Misers have really high DPS together if you alternate fire. You put like a 1 to 2 second burst of flame and then shoot a Miser, 2 to 3 Miser shots in that, and then go back to flame, Miser, flame, Miser. You will watch health bars that disappear, like especially of what do you call it, Guardians and other things. They just melt. They just start draining. Like it just moves down. That's why my Flamethrower is level 20. That's how my Miser became level 20. I don't know. Do they? I know they get more damage. So, everything about their infusion path seems to be damage related. Their reload speed one's really nice too. Ooh, level 5 is a nice one. Energy on hit. That's actually pretty good. Believe it or not, that's why the Facade is one of the best guns. If you use the Facade literally to basically get your Primal faster, it's excellent. That's the strange thing too. That's why the sniper rifles, the Lumia Prodigal and the Prodigal themselves, they do crazy amounts of damage, and because of their short ammo size and the amount of time they need to reload, they do almost 2 seconds off your countdown every time you hit something. If you hit 2 shots, you're taking almost 3.6 seconds off. Yeah, 3.6 seconds off every 2 shots. It's really strong. That's why when I'm playing that build that I show you, I primal really fast too. I will, if I sit around running around a guardian or an overseer and just keep shooting them, if I can shoot them a good 30 seconds, I will primal before that, and I should be able to move. But yeah, like I said, that's my build technique. My build technique is you pick your primary, know its weakness, and then build everything around it to maximize its damage and minimize its weakness. So that's it. I min-max my builds in that way. My mods, they are to enhance specific things I want to happen. Like, this is why this build is so good. Trial, MK4 Accelerator. Am I using it with Frost Bomb? I think I was using it with no. I use it with Primal Fire. It also works well with Frost Bomb. And then I use it with Current Cache. Okay, so why is this build built that way? MK4 Accelerator. MK4 Accelerator mixed in with Trial, their alternating fire, super high DPS, melts opponents. As long as you have heavy ammo, devastating. This thing also has one of the fastest reload times of most of the weapons in the game. It's quick. It's got a way better reload time than most battle rifles, the Trial. And it has about the same charge as most battle rifles. It's just that it doesn't do a triple hit. So this gun, even though the damage on it is not where I'd love it to be, it's just that it's so fast. Its shots are fast on reactivation delay. It reloads quickly. So it's great. Every time you hit something, 1 second off your primal recharge. So if you hit 10 things, 8 seconds off your primal recharge. And then it reloads so quickly, you just keep hitting it. So you're dropping 8 seconds off. Next thing, MK4 Accelerator, better range, more damage, but when you weave 500, 800, 500, 800, that's 1,300 every shot. And then you can get like 15 shots hitting people, crushing them, blowing them up. Like if I have them both, I can even stop shotgunners. If I don't have them both, I'm in trouble. Like, Bowling Penguin is the first person who started using this thing. It's the most annoying thing when you don't have it. But if you read what it does, damage per second, max damage per second, 2,500. The higher the health of the opponent that you're facing, the more damage they take. Tanky people, you want this against them. Overseers, you want this against them. Imperial Guardians, that's the job. What do you call it? Behemoths? There you go. Dreadnoughts? Yup. Like anything with high health, that's what this is for. So this thing is basically a health chunker. It lasts for 3 seconds and can take up to 7,500 health off stuff for every time you drop it on something. Especially if it has a high health. Do you know how fast you could take objectives with this thing? Why you wouldn't use it? I don't know. It's Primal Hunter. Makes it worse. If you have another Primal Hunter like the Trial, it's a 75% more damage. Even though it's got a cap, it does a 75%. So it does 5% of health per second. Plus, it's capped at 2,500. And if you're using 2 Primal Hunters, you're doing 75% more damage. Stupid. It's really dumb. And then I use Kirin's Cash. So you're like, Kirin's Cash, what does that do? Why would you want to use that? 20%. Kirin's Cash, greatest ability. Gain increased charge pickup of heavy ammo. Gain of primal energy. So if I pick up primal energy, I get more. I get heavy ammo. If I pick up heavy ammo, I get more. I get 65% more naturally. And then 20% of that goes straight to, what do you call it, the other side. So if you pick up 100% of Catalyte energy to bring down your cooldown, you'll get 20% ammo. If you pick up 100% ammo, you'll get 20% cooldown. Hey, nothing bad about that. Now the mods. Why do I use it? Spirit Well grants 17.45% more primal energy, plus 65. Then Spirit Well, 17.5, 35% plus 65. 17.5, 17.5, 70% more, plus 65, 135% every time I pick up cooldown. In around 8 to 9 pickups, I'll have Primal. That's why I use it. Deadly build. Yeah. That's why, like, that's literally how I build stuff. That's why Spirit Well is like my new favorite thing. Like, if I play my full Seeker build, I have a legendary Spirit Well. It's just dumb. Spirit Well is like having Seeker if you're not playing Seeker. And if you play Spirit Well with Seeker items, it's even worse. It makes it even faster. Like my full Seeker, you see, I told you about 8 or 9 pickups. My full Seeker 6 to 7 pickups that I can get Primal. That's how fast that becomes. Because I still have it goes instead of it being 135%, it jumps to like somewhere like 180%. It's super high. So, or 185%. It's really, really high. Because Seeker is also giving you 100% either way when you pick stuff up. So ammo and cooldowns are just happening no matter what I'm taking. So red crystals and blue crystals give me primal cooldown. So yeah, it's like I said, that's how you build it. Like that build is designed just to get primal. That's what the build is designed for. So if you're playing Sunder, or if you're playing Nock, that's devastating builds. You'll be Nock and Sunder every few seconds. Like the duration runs off, you pick up 3 or 4 things, you're back. And then if you have funny things like Scavenger, you're getting ammo and stuff like that. But yeah, like these are all solid builds. Like these are, and since it's Primal Hunter, I always play with Maria. But yeah, what's nice about the builds I try to also build is they work well in most modes, right? So that's the trick. That's the big trick for me. That's why when I tell people I have like 8 builds that I can play, those are 8 builds that works in every mode. Because they each have very specific things that they do. Ooh la la. I'll take that. Ooh, 100%. 100 seconds off. Why'd you get that? Let me get that. Yay, Primal! Where are these? Where are these humans? Dead. Thanks. took it. Freaking bots. I missed. I'm missing the second time. Yay, Primal again. Yay! And this build also is good for killing Primals. Like, somebody with Primal, and then I hit them like 4 or 5 times, and they just transform back to human. It's devastating. Damn it! In the good old days, I would have made that. See, the problem with Seth, he has a really big health bar, and because he has that really big health bar, oh my god, ugh, ugh, oh my god, holy herky jerky, Batman. See, I'm glad I haven't been playing. Like, this ain't even gonna make it to YouTube. Oh, damn it. Come on, roll, get it. Almost there. It's 4 seconds? What kind of bullcrap was that? Oh my god, Issia made it to another location. Yay! I'm so happy. Give it to me. Yay! Now they're only can come out one spot. What in the world?
Your enemy has captured
Yay.
an outpost.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
What the hell are these people? This is the guy. That's the guy. That's the guy. That's the guy I wanted.
Hope remains.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's herky jerky, so I'm not really going to be streaming gameplay. Oh, that's neat. Oh, speaking of which, let me just check something.
Come on in. Don't be shy.
Oh, one more day. So, here's one of the bugs that bothers me. The quest boost is going to end in 1 day, 17 hours. When the quest boost ends, I will not be able to buy it right away. I have to wait somewhere between 1 to 4 hours before I'll be able to use it again. I don't know why. But that is one of the weirdest things about this game that I don't get at all. That why you cannot just get the boost right away.